Hi everyone, this is Chandan. You're watching Educate India. In this video, we are going to discuss about Envoy Proxy. That's one of the important component in the Kubernetes, and nowadays it's quite popular. So if we have any enterprise type of application, or if you're running multiple different applications in the Kubernetes and we are kind of having different type of services, so Envoy helps us in doing the load balancing, routing, SSL terminations, and there are a lot of different features of Envoy. So this is a kind of hands-on video. We're gonna understand how can we set up the Envoy in our Kubernetes cluster. So we can see here we have two different applications, Nginx Blue and Nginx Green, that's running in our Kubernetes cluster, and this is serving the blue is serving the blue page, green is serving the green page, and this is connected to two different services. So we can see we have a Nginx Blue service and Nginx Green service that is having the external IP. So we can access those services using the external IP since it's a load balancer type. So let's try to access this. This IP is ending with 249.255 and this is ending with 55.15. So I have already just tried this. So this 55.15 is the green. So if I'll try to access this particular page, so I'm able to access the green page, and if I'll try to access the 249.255 index HTML, so I'm able to access the blue page. So we are just using the service IP to access those individual page. So let's understand, tomorrow we have n number of different services for different features of the applications. So then we cannot give n number of different external IPs or endpoint to our consumers or client. In that case, either we have to create any ingress that will route the traffic based on the ingress rules and ingress controllers to these different services, and that can handle all those routing, or we can also use the Envoy Proxy. So Envoy Proxy is kind of very efficient way of handling those routings. So we can just create Envoy Proxy within our Kubernetes cluster, and we will define some routing configurations. There we can mention maybe if user is requesting /blue route, then serve the blue page, and if your user is requesting /green route, then serve the green page. So we can handle the routing with very simple config.yaml file for the Envoy. So we will just understand how can we set up that Envoy within the cluster. So just to save the time, I have already created the manifest, and we can see we have the manifest for the Envoy deployment, config map, and services. So we need three different components to run the Envoy proxy within the cluster. One is the Envoy deployment that contains the actual Envoy image and all the information about the Envoy pods. And then one is the service. We need an external load balancer type of service. And also we need a config map that contains the actual routing of the Envoy. So first we'll understand what deployment file contains. So it's a basic kind deployment file where we are getting a deployment of name Envoy, and in the spec we are running one Envoy pod, and also we can see in the container spec we are running the Envoy image. We are just images Envoy proxy with the version, and we are giving some port definitions and profs related details, and then resources. And we can see this is a basic deployment, so this will run the Envoy pod. So we need an Envoy pod to be running, so we need to expose that Envoy to the outside world. So for that we need a service. So that's for that we have a service.yaml. So we can see kind is of service and type is of load balancer type of service, so that it will have external access. So that's why we're creating load balancer type of service, and within the ports we are simply giving if user is requesting on port 80, then forward it to this port, and this is just, Envoy pod is listening to that port. So here we can understand it's a basic service, and then we are just creating a config map. So this config map is used by the Envoy pod. So we can see within the Envoy pod we are just mounting the Envoy config volume. So we can see in the config map it's Envoy config. So I'm not going to explain each and everything of the config, but basically it is having two important sections. So one is the listener and another one is cluster. So within the listener we have the routing config. So here we can see within the listener we are listening to the port 8080, and then within the routing we are defining the actual routes. We can define multiple type of routes here. So we can see within the routing we are just matching the route, that if the routing is matching with this prefix /blue, then forward it to this particular cluster that we are saying Nginx Blue, and if user is requesting /green, then just forward it to Nginx Green. So these clusters we can see we have given the definitions here down. So we have Nginx Blue cluster, Nginx Green cluster. We can see the details of those clusters. So we are defining the clusters here. We are giving the name of the cluster as Nginx Blue and Nginx Green. So within the cluster we can see we have the basic information about the cluster, like since Envoy is also doing the load balancing, so we're defining the load balancing policy as a round robin and some additional information here. But important thing is if anything is coming off on this route, then here we are forwarding that traffic from the cluster to that individual services. So we have just saw we were having two Nginx service, Nginx blue service and Nginx green service. So we are just forwarding based on the route, we are forwarding to those individual services. So we're saying if user is requesting /blue route, then we are forwarding to Nginx blue service, and if user is requesting /green route, then we are forwarding the traffic to Nginx green service on that particular port. So it is simply doing the routing part. Here we are handling all those routing in the config. This config is used by the Envoy pod. So now we are going to create all these three components within the Kubernetes cluster. So let's create one by one. So first we are going to create the config map. We can see here we have a Envoy namespace. We can see currently there's no any deployment here, and we don't have any Envoy config here, and also within service we can say there's no any service running. So first we're going to create the config map. So I'll just create directly using the OpenLens currently for the video. To save the time, I'm going to create using the OpenLens directly, but in the upcoming video I'll try to create some more video of Azure DevOps, how can we deploy using the Azure DevOps pipelines. So I'm just going to create using the create resource, and I'll just copy this manifest. And I'm just creating it. So we can see now it's creating the Envoy config. It has created it with the similar configurations. We can see here we have it's forwarding to blue service and green service. Now we are gonna create the deployment. We can see the deployment here. Yeah, so it's trying to create the deployment. So that is running one Envoy pod. So this is trying to create one Envoy pod. It is internally using the Envoy config file. Now we can see it is running successfully. So now we have one Envoy config, we have one Envoy pod. So we're going to create a service. So we can see it's trying to create a load balancer type of service for Envoy service. So this will assign external IP because it's a load balancer type service. So let's wait for some time. It's gonna add the external IP here. So if I'll try to access the blue page and green page using this external IP, I should be able to access it, as we have already configured the routes. So let's try to access the blue page. So I'm just copying this particular IP on port 80 and I'm going to access blue. So we can see it's able to serve the blue page. Now if I'll change this route to green, we can see we are able to access the green page. It means our routing is working perfectly fine. Also, we have configured two different routes. That also we can check. So if I'll go back to the actual manifest, we can see these are two different folders here where I have created the manifest for all the Nginx components that we are running for Nginx pods, Nginx blue and Nginx green. So here we can see we have a config map that we are displaying this blue page, and also we have a config map for that to health endpoint that we're saying if someone try to access /health, it will return 200 and it will return blue okay. So let's try to access green health. So if I'll try to access health, so it's saying green okay, and if I'll try to access the blue health endpoint, so it's also saying blue okay. So it means the routing is working perfectly fine. Also we can see the logs in the Envoy pod. So let's try to see the live logs. So here we can see the logs. Someone tried to access /green health and then /blue health. All those logs we can see here, and also we can see the status codes that it's able to serve with 200 status code. So let's try to access lively. So if you can see the last log here is /blue health. So if I try to access /green health maybe, so we will be able to see here that one log will be added. We can see here it's showing /green health and response code is 200. So we are able to access the log successfully. Even if someone will try to access some wrong endpoint, maybe health SSS, so it's saying page not found, so we'll be able to see that log as well here. You can see it's saying get request with /green health SSS and 404. That means that it was unable to serve that page, right? So this is showing that how Envoy is receiving the traffic and it's forwarding the traffic to those individual services based on the route, and then services actually forwarding the traffic to our individual pods, right? So I'll go to the actually Nginx namespace where our pod is running, and I'll try to access the green pod logs to see whether the pod is actually receiving that traffic. So here we can see, yeah, pod is receiving the traffic. It's showing /health SSS 404 last log. It was unable to serve that. And if I'll try to access that green health, the actual endpoint, it should receive the next log here. Yeah, it's saying it's able to serve /health 200. If I'll try to access the blue health endpoint, then it won't show that here, because it should go to the blue pod. So let's check the blue pod logs. So we can see the last log is /health. So if I'll try to access blue health SSS, some endpoint that does not exist, so we should see that, yeah, it has came here that someone tried to access this because it was a /blue, initial route was /blue. It has forwarded that to blue pod, but it was unable to serve because there's no any configurations for that, so it is giving 404. So that shows that our Envoy pod is routing the traffic correctly. Here also within the Envoy we can see that someone tried to access blue health, then someone tried to access blue /health 404 200. So that means that whenever our user is trying to access the application using the Envoy service external IP with the routes, it's going through the Envoy pod using the Envoy config to route to actual those applications, and within the application also we are able to see those incoming requests to that individual pods. So that's how we can segregate those different type of requests to different type of workloads and pods or different parts of applications. So it is able to handle the route successfully. Also we can do the load balancing using the Envoy. So let's say tomorrow we have millions of requests coming to our applications. So in that case, currently we are running the one Envoy pod. We can just set some HPA based on the CPU and memory, and we can increase that Envoy pods to handle that much load. And in the similar way, Envoy will forward the traffic to those pods. So here we can say we are running only one pod. Maybe tomorrow the blue application will have high load, so we may increase the blue pod to 5 pods or 6 pods. So Envoy will also able to distribute the traffic evenly to 5 or 6 pods based on the policy or routing configurations that we are doing there. We can set the load balancing policy, and then Envoy will able to handle that distribution of load within those workloads. So this is one of the important component within the Kubernetes. Also later on we can see here we are using the external IP to access the application, but the efficient way is we should have some domain, some meaningful endpoint of the application, and then maybe any shoppingapp.com / different page name, and that page will have different functionality in the background that will go to that individual pod. So those mappings also we can do with that Envoy external IP. So Envoy external IP will be mapped to that particular endpoint, and user will be provided a single endpoint, and through single endpoint will be able to serve different functionality of that particular application. Also we can see here the traffic is not secure because it's a HTTP traffic. We can set up the HTTPS traffic. We will need some certificate. We can just map that certificate, and then SSL termination can be handled by the Envoy. So that can happen at the Envoy. Traffic will be secure traffic. One thing to notice here, currently we can see the initially we try to expose that individual services just to show whether we are able to access the page. But since we are accessing the page using the Envoy service, So there's no need to make these service as external kind of load balancer service. So we can just edit the service and we can change the type to cluster IP. Also we can make headless service, because cluster IP is kind of internal, it's still using the internal IP address. So we can just remove this service just to test it, but this will break our entire connectivity, will create two different service. So now since we deleted the service, so we won't be able to connect now. So if I'll try to access maybe blue health page by saying health, we can see it's saying no healthy upstreams, it's unable to connect to the blue. If I'll try to access green health, we are unable to connect because we don't have service. So now we'll create the headless service. So here we'll say cluster IP none. And same, we'll just update to our other service as cluster IP none. We'll make it as cluster IP type of service because we don't want load balancer service. Okay, so let's deploy these. We just need to make this as a small case. It's unable to find the cluster IP. Now let's create it. Yeah, we can see here cluster IP as none. There's no IP address assigned, and we have just deployed a green service. Let's validate it. Green health. We can see green is up now. And if I'll try to access blue, no healthy upstreams. Let's create the blue service. You can come here, this is the blue service. Let's deploy this, create. Now we have blue service, and if I'll try to access the blue health, now blue is okay. If I'll try to access the page, everything will work perfectly fine. Blue and green page. So that means that we don't need any IP address for those individual services that we were using for those pods. We can make the internal headless service that will be using the selectors to connect to those individual pods, and actually only the Envoy pod will have external IP assigned that will have only the exposure to the outside network, and that can be mapped to any endpoint, and using that endpoint we can access the different pages of application using the routing within the Envoy. This is graduated project of CNCF. This is one of the highly powerful tool that's nowadays used by many enterprise applications. And we can see in the documentation you'll have more details about like what is Envoy, what is the architecture, and all different type of features of the Envoy. So this is very detailed documentation of Envoy. I just try to demonstrate one feature of Envoy, that is routing, and the different type of routes, how we can route the traffic to different applications that we are running. And I'll try to demonstrate some of different features of Envoy in the upcoming videos, and also I'll try to create some Azure DevOps pipelines video. How can we deploy these different type of components using Azure DevOps pipelines? So that's it for now. In the video we'll cover more topics in the upcoming videos. If you like my video, please do follow and subscribe my channel. I'll try to create more videos related to Kubernetes and cloud applications and cloud environment. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.